and welcome to Amateur Kitchen, where I bring you into my kitchen and show you that you don't need to be a professional chef to cook or think like one. And today I have my helper with me again, my daughter Miss Maria. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Now we are cooking something very special today. Do you know what we're cooking for though?
St. Patrick's Day.
That's right, St. Patrick's Day. How much fun. It's when you celebrate being Irish, if you come from Ireland, or if your parents or grandparents. And luckily for you and I, we do have a little bit of Irish in us. And but honestly, to celebrate St. Patty's Day, I think everybody has a little bit of Irish, so it doesn't really matter anyways on the day. So what we're making today though, that you see very traditional meal on St. Patty's Day, or if you go into an Irish pub or Irish restaurant, is shepherd's pie. And we're gonna make it a little bit healthier on some ways. In some ways we're gonna kind of dabble into probably not so much healthy, but we'll explain. I am actually twisting it up and putting a Guinness with it. So it's gonna be a Guinness shepherd's pie. And don't worry about the kids, can't drink beer. But when you cook the Guinness, it cooks the alcohol out, so don't worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to get started with prepping our veggies, okay? And I need to have you peel the potatoes and carrots for me, and I'm going to cut up the onion and garlic. And when you're done peeling, then I'm going to cut up the carrots and potatoes as well. The carrot and onion need to be cut up at about the same, that way they cook at the same time. So, are you ready to get started?
Yep.
Awesome, let's go. We finished chopping up all of our vegetables and prepping. This makes it a lot easier for when we just want to throw everything in. So, and again, if you haven't heard my tip before, if you're cutting up potatoes, go ahead and put them in some cold water, and that'll keep them from browning until you're ready to head over to the stove. Now, here's the healthy part of the shepherd's pie, okay, Maria? Usually you use ground beef with it. But today we're using a ground turkey breast, which is really 99% fat-free, and we're going to season it with some seasonings. That way we're not, missing out on anything. So, let me go ahead and open this up. And this is 1 1/4 pounds of ground turkey. You could use ground chicken. You can stick with the beef, but like I said, I always like to cut out calories wherever I can. So, let's go ahead and put this in here. All right, Maria, this is going to be your part. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt, okay, and some pepper, right? And then we're going to put in some paprika. Now this will just kind of give it a little bit of smoky flavor. It's not hot, contrary to popular belief, and it's going to give it a nice color. So we're going to put about a tablespoon of that in. Okay? And it's going to give it a really pretty color. And now the thing is, I'm glad you put your hand over because this reminded me, anytime you come in contact with turkey or chicken, you can touch it, but you always want to make sure you head over to the sink to wash your hands, okay? Otherwise you're going to end up getting really, really sick, and that is not good. So, and then, just to add a little bit more flavor into my turkey.
I'm glad I reminded you.
Yes, thank you. I am going to put in some Worcestershire sauce in here. So let's go ahead and add about, I'd say, a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. This is going to add a lot of flavor. Now, I just want you to kind of push it in like this, okay? And this will combine all those flavors. Can you do that for me? Okay, go ahead. Have you ever had shepherd's pie before?
No.
No. Well, she is today, because remember, I always encourage her to tell us whether or not she likes it or doesn't like it, and she needs to be honest. So our water has come up to a boil, and really to cook potatoes, you don't need to have it come to a boil. You can just put them in right away. But I am seasoning the water with a little bit of salt, and then I'm going to put my potatoes in here and cook them until they're tender. And as you can tell, I have oil over on this pan. That's why it was snap, crackle, and popping for you. Let's stir these just a bit and get those going. Perfect. Now we're going to head over to this pan, and I'm going to dump in our turkey mixture that Maria helped make with me. And we're going to let this brown, and once that browns, we're going to add in all of our veggies. So just kind of mix it in there, get it going. Put about a tablespoon or two of olive oil in there, because again, turkey doesn't have much fat. And that's it, kind of just let it sit and do its thing. So our turkey has browned it up real nice. It's really beautiful. I'm going to add in my 1 onion that I chopped up earlier, along with the 5 carrots that Maria helped peel for me, and I chopped up after that. And we're just going to let this kind of get in there and cook and sweat out. Stir it all around, get those onions incorporated. Once the onions become translucent, I'm going to add the garlic after that. It's garlic time. Yum, yum. Man, once garlic gets into the pan, I tell you what, your kitchen just blows up with aromas. And just kind of mix that all around. You don't want the garlic to burn, so you can turn your heat down a little bit because everything's pretty much cooked through. The carrots are becoming a little bit more tender. Onions are translucent, etc. So Maria's taking a little break. I'm going to finish off with making a gravy that we're going to put on the meat before we put it all in a casserole dish. So first I'm going to start with heating up 2 tablespoons on a medium-high heat of butter. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour. And then here comes the Guinness part. This is so neat. I got it in the can because in the can it has a little plastic ball with nitrogen in it. And once you open it and it tells that the pressure has been released, it releases nitrogen into the beer, and that's what you get, like that creaminess that you're used to seeing, like the white top on a Guinness. That's where that comes from. So this is really cool. But we're going to add in about 12 ounces of this, and this is just a little over a 14-ounce can. So you know what I'm doing with the rest, right? I'll leave it up to you to think of that. And then we're just going to add in maybe like a half of a cup or so of beef broth. Again, I'm opting for the 50% less sodium. If I can cut out calories or sodium, I'm going to, without losing any of the flavor. So let's head over to the stove and start making our gravy. So our turkey mixture is looking great. I'm going to add our gravy, and I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. I don't want the gravy to like overpower all of it. And if you're not sure if you like Guinness, you know, you could always start with just a little bit and add just some beef broth, mostly beef broth rather than Guinness, rather than doing the ratio that I did earlier. So, you know, test it out, see what you like. Make sure you season the gravy with a little bit of salt and pepper. You could even add a dash of Worcestershire sauce in there, which has pretty much everything but the kitchen sink in there. So this is looking good. It has a nice creamy texture to it. I'm going to add about a cup or so of frozen peas. And these are so easy. I mean, if peas are in season, go ahead and use those. But this, they just blanch them and freeze them. And add this at the last minute. So go ahead and turn off your heat, and we're about ready to assemble once we get our potatoes done. So we're done with the potatoes now. What I'm doing is I'm running them through a sifter just to, it really is a great way to kind of mash them up. If you have a food meal, that's another great way, but you're gonna love the creaminess and the texture of the potatoes if you do it this way. It takes just a little bit longer than if you were gonna mash it, but I promise you it's well worth it. So let's start off with the sour cream, and I want you to spoon in about a half a cup into here.
With this spoon?
Yes, please. There you go. And one more. It's about a quarter of a cup. There we go, half a cup, perfect. And then we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter into here. So let's do that, nice. And then, if you wanna crack an egg into here, this is just gonna really help bind the mashed potatoes that we put on top of the meat mixture. So go ahead and crack it for me. No shells. Perfect. Very nice. Let me get, you know what? I'm just going to add a little bit more sour cream because who doesn't love sour cream, right? So we got about 3/4 of a cup in there. Perfect. And now, let's season with a little bit of salt and pepper. Perfect. And if you have a white pepper, you could use that. That's really pretty. That way you don't get the specks in the potatoes since they're white. And this is looking good. Now, Maria, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it all into a casserole dish, which is right over there. So can you grab that for me? And put it on top of here. We added the peas at the end. We have carrots, onions, garlic, turkey breast, ground up turkey breast that we put in paprika.
I don't want to try this.
You don't?
No.
Just a little bit, please.
Okay.
Okay. And don't forget our Guinness gravy that we put on it too. Yum. And I have our oven preheated at 400 if I didn't say that already. And we're just going to cook this for about 30 minutes or until the top gets a nice golden brown.
I'm getting your fingers dirty.
That's okay. Our shepherd's pie is out of the oven, and I actually let it sit on the countertop for about 15-20 minutes or so, just to allow for it to all kind of distribute back within one another, and that way when you scoop it out, it just doesn't, you know, go all over the plate. So let's go ahead and scoop it up. Now I know Maria is not going to be a big fan of this, but she is going to be a sport and at least try it and tell us the truth of what she does or doesn't like. So we get all that nice turkey and mashed potatoes. You ready? I bought that for her and she loves it. So let's go ahead and try this, okay?
I like a blanket.
I'm going to take all of the meat and the vegetables and the potatoes.
I'm just for the potato.
Hot. I love it. You can taste the stout of the Guinness right away. You're gonna love this. What do you think, Maria?
Yummy.
Is it? Are you just saying that?
No.
You promise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just took this.
Just the potato?
Yeah.
Potatoes are so good. Of course, you can taste the sour cream right away.
Wait, let me try it one more time.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right. Well, Maria didn't absolutely love it as much as I do, but this, I love shepherd's pie. It's a nice, healthier version, but we did add a little bit to compensate for that, so.
You can see that I have green hair.
I can. This is what we're having on our next St. Patty's Day. We hope you are too, and join us again next time on Amateur Kitchen.